Well, hello, everybody. I thought I would just hop on here and say some things that are kind of on my mind as I'm getting ready for the weekend, and some shows and things like that. Some of the things I'm going to say are probably controversial. Please say what you feel in the comments. I'm going to take off any restrictions. You can say whatever you want to what I have to say here. Got a couple of hot takes that I think I need to talk about. The first one is this whole Deadmau5 James Hype beef thing. I've seen more realistic stories on daytime soap operas from the 80s. This is just stupid nonsense to try and make two people who are basically becoming irrelevant, in my opinion, trying to catch on to one last little bit of whatever. I think we were all impressed by James Hype's DJ skills, a while back when it was new and interesting what he was doing. But it's been the same thing for pretty much since I've seen him. Play a fun song, and then when you're transitioning to the next one, throw in some edits of other songs and continue on. It's fun, and don't get me wrong, I do enjoy it. But DJs that have been around for a while tend to grow and change at least a little, but it's been the same thing over and over again. And that's just how I feel about that. Whether it's pre-recorded or not, I would say extremely rehearsed. Good, but rehearsed. It doesn't feel like any improvisation or reading the crowd like good DJs do. The other thing that about Deadmau5, it's kind of the same thing, just in a different way. For him, it's the music hasn't really changed that much. He's just doing what he knows how to do, and again, I do enjoy it. Nothing wrong with that. And in fact, I even play a lot of his music, mostly the older stuff. But yeah, I every once in a while I do hear a Deadmau5 track that I do like that feels at least somewhat inspired, instead of just regurgitating similar stuff. And I'm not saying, Four on the Floor is, Four on the Floor beat is, unoriginal. We all do it. I'm just saying that, I don't know. I feel like a track that he made last year or a track that he made 15 years ago, you could switch them when they got released, and it wouldn't really feel any different. That's all I really have to say about that. Just kind of uninteresting and boring, for the most part. His Test Pilot stuff is kind of interesting. I don't think I've played any of his. If I did, it was on accident, and I didn't even know it was his. But yeah, I do enjoy that, but also seeing the videos of him, and I've also seen it of where he's drinking beer and just letting the show play as a pre-recorded thing. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. Excuse me, sir. You can't call anybody else out about a pre-recorded set if you yourself are playing a pre-recorded set. And I'm just going to bookmark it there, and I think I've said all I need to say about that. The other thing, I just finished listening to Tiesto's EDC set from this year, the In Search of Sunrise, hoping to hear a very inspiring trance set. Instead, what I heard was a rehashing of previous In Search of Sunrise CDs, tracks from those. It was nice to hear those, don't get me wrong. But as somebody who has listened to those CDs and even plays some of the tracks from those, I was just really hoping to hear new music. Sure, we heard some new versions of some old stuff. I did really enjoy the BT update. I'm spacing on the name of the track right now, but if you look at the track list, I believe it's the only BT track he played. I did enjoy that. I thought that was a nice update to that track. But everything else, like of the old songs that I heard, hearing Brave come in, the Cosmic Gate remix of it, and you even hear it when the big bass line drops in the chorus part of the song. You hear the crowd really go for it. What does he do? He immediately mixes out of it. That song does that drop 2 or 3 times, and it's, yes, you're doing the same drop over and over again, but when the crowd really liked it, at least one more. That's what I thought about that. Overall, I thought it was an okay set. It felt rushed, meaning that yes, he only had 75 minutes to play all the songs that he wanted to, but songs were cut short, and songs that kind of deserved to be played longer weren't. I don't know, maybe this is just an old trance DJ saying that maybe just let the song play if it's good and the crowd likes it. Now, have I cut a track short? Sure, all DJs have. But that's the good ones. You're watching the crowd, and if the people are doing this, yeah, they probably aren't digging it. But if they're, going crazy, yeah, maybe that's a good record for them. And if you have other ones that sound kind of like that, you should probably throw those in too. But one thing I did appreciate is it did not sound like a pre-recorded set. In fact, I did hear a couple of kick slaps on some transitions, and that's usually a pretty good indicator that it is not a pre-recorded set. Even if it was, that's okay. Festivals, I will say that festivals as big as EDC and everybody's on a very specific timeline, yeah, a pre-recorded set or a very rehearsed set, that is okay. I personally don't ever play pre-recorded sets, but I will say if I'm ever invited to play EDC, you guys know my number, I would actually probably consider it, especially if it's mandated. I do know there are festivals out there, I'm not going to call them out, but I do know there are festivals out there that mandate a pre-recorded set, because it has to fit a very specific timeline, and lighting technicians need to hear it so they can set their shows. Okay, that's all part of show business. I understand that. That's just not what I do. Any of you who've ever watched me play, I've train wrecked it. Not proud of it, but I've done it. Other things happen along the way while you play. Needles get bumped on scratch records. Wrong buttons get pressed on CDJs. Stuff happens. But if you're playing a pre-recorded set, none of that stuff happens. Funny. So yeah, until I see a video of DJs that have been what's the word? Accused of playing pre-recorded sets, until I see bloopers from those DJs, I'm gonna go ahead and say that yeah, they're probably playing pre-recorded sets on every set, because no DJ is that perfect. You can play pretty well. I have knocked out 10 in a row that could have been retail release mixes. And then on that 11th one, third transition in, oh no, 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 no. It gets bad, and there's a cut and a James hype my way out of a thing. Yeah, I stole that. Anyway, comment below. Tell me if you think I'm jaded, full of shit, whatever. You can tell me whatever. I'm okay with it. I'm a big boy. Yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna get off of here and go back to whatever it was I was doing.